But I will say that my district has gotten more Republican, and so that has brought out an opponent for me in November.
Wow.
So I am running against a Republican. But let me just start from the beginning. So I have been a member of Democratic Women of the South Suburbs for a very, very long time. I go back to the days when Debbie Halverson and Congresswoman Kelly were members, and we used to meet at Flossmoor Station, and so I go way back. And let me just reassure everyone in this room that your work is so important in the Southland. Never forget that your work is so important. We have got to keep our Democratic base strong and vibrant and resilient and committed and passionate. We have got to do that, and that takes all of us working in the Southland. And this election in particular, because it's a midterm election, sometimes you have to rev up, as you are doing tonight, the spirit and the energy, because a lot of people don't take midterms seriously. There's no presidential factor in the race. However, we are choosing a new governor, maybe. We are choosing a new Secretary of State, Congress people who have not been in Congress before. So this is extremely important that we are informed voters. That we know who the candidates are, what they stand for, how they're going to be able to help the Southland, because that's what it's all about. Every time I go to Springfield, it's how can I help the Southland? How can I make it better? How can I make it stronger? So I am asking for support because I am running for my third term. I think this year we had a very exciting, productive, effective session. It was condensed, but a lot of dollars are flowing through the Southland because of the work that we did in Springfield. And so I want to make sure that I go back and finish that. We now, and I think probably everybody knows, the governor has now contracted with a firm to now do the upgrade engineering for I-57. That's a step in the right direction that we've been waiting for forever. And that was because Southland legislators were like a dog with a bone. We would not let it go. Through consultants that came on board to try to figure out alternative uses for the land that had already been purchased, and all of the setbacks that we felt we were having over the course of these 4 years since money was put into the budget for the airport. That is something that will benefit all of us, if not us, our children,
Yes.
and our children's children, because that is going to be an economic boom. And I'm so proud to have been part of that delegation that stuck with it until we finally have made this progressive step. The dollars that are coming to fight crime, going to law enforcement, putting more cameras on the expressway, is that I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be a candidate. I am privileged. I am honored to serve and represent the people of the Southland and Springfield. When they can't be there, I can share with you how things work, how they get done, sometimes how they don't get done, but why we have to continually, and I mean continually, keep our foot on the pedal. Never take it off, never let up, never let go, because we deserve that, we want that, and certainly that is our right as citizens of the state of Illinois. So awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And
here in the 6th District. Woo! All right. So let me just give you a little bit of background on just why this race is so important on every level. Every Democratic seat is up for grabs. And every Democratic seat matters in this election, not only in the 6th District, not only in the state of Illinois, but across the entire country. And we have to motivate our base to get out and vote. I always say each one bring one. So if you don't know someone who has a voting plan, give them one. Share yours with them. Make them come with you. Pick them up. Tell them that this vote matters. If they don't know who to vote for, help them decide who to vote for. Educate them, because that's why we're all here. That is the purpose of this organization. It's really proud of the work that Illinois did. This is the work that we do in the background. Illinois did the work in the background to get House Bill 40 passed so that no matter what happens at the Supreme Court level, Illinois will still have reproductive rights for women in the state of Illinois and also across the country. And that was because of the work that Planned Parenthood did for many years, electing pro-choice legislators up and down the state of Illinois. Debbie Myers-Martin is one of those. Illinois also now has the largest contingency of women in the Illinois legislature of any legislature in the country. Infrastructure bill that comes from the federal government that goes to the state, that's going to come to the county. I want 40% of that business to be for minority vendors. Awesome. And so that is going to be an initiative not only in the state of Illinois, in Cook County, but we want that to spread to all the other counties. For those of you who might not know, Cook County is the 2nd largest county in the entire country. So what we do here matters. What we do in Cook County matters, because other people want to follow suit and they want to emulate, I won't say copy, they want to emulate what we do. But if they copy us, that's fine too. So these are the things that we have to pay attention to. I'm Vice Chair of Contract Compliance, and when I go to presentations and talk about doing business with the county, that is important. Small businesses have to get on board to understand how they can get contracts, how they can do business not only with the county but with the state, and then that goes to the municipal level as well. How can you do business on the municipality level? Let's educate people on how that works, but how that works is by electing people in government that care about those issues. Up and down the ballot. We have judges here today. Yes. Judges matter. Yes. Judges matter up and down the ballot. We have a very contentious Supreme Court race right here in the state of Illinois, and I would hope this organization, even though we can't vote for that Supreme Court justice, we need to make sure that Supreme Court justice gets elected, who represents our values in Illinois, because as you see, what happens here spreads to the next level of government on the Supreme Court level. So let's get motivated. This rally is to motivate. Let's get motivated to elect not only those who are in our direct area, but encourage those in other areas to vote. That Supreme Court race is contentious, and maybe one of the judges can help you understand how contentious that is. But we matter in that race, because guess what's going to happen next? There's going to be another opening on the Supreme Court, and many of us are friends with someone who might be vying for that seat. We want to make sure that if she wants it, we help her get it.
That's right. Yes.
If she is not in the running for it, and she knows our support will leverage her voice to get there if that's what she wants. But if not her, then it's the next person, and we want to make sure our voice is heard. That's going to be our Supreme Court seat. When it comes open, that's going to be the one that we can vote for. So these are the things we have to plan for. These are the things we have to keep in our mind. But this is why this election is crucial. I heard someone today tell me, a young person, tell me that they didn't want to vote because why does it matter? We have to educate our young people. Every vote matters. Yes. Every race is won by voters, and if you lose by one vote, it could be that one person who helped you not win. So we want to make sure they're educated. We want to make sure they vote. And as I was telling my son, not that son, my younger son is here today, but my other son who's going to vote for the first time, and he gets to vote for his mom. So my other son was asking about how do we decide judicial races. That is an education process. We need to educate everyone how we vote for judges. Judges matter. We see what's happening in our court system. State rep races, county board races. Some of them aren't all the, sexy seats, but they are the seats that make a lot of decisions. So the Supreme Court is also important, even though it doesn't affect us. The Secretary of State race is also very, very important. And the governor's seat. We need to keep this state blue.
Yes.
We are blue out here, but other areas are a little purple. They're not blue, they're not red, but they're in the middle. So we have to make sure our voices extend to those. Another thing that I'll suggest that we all do is we need to write letters. We need to send postcards. We need to make sure that if after this primary, if the judicial seats are up for grabs, the Democratic seats, we can help leverage those seats by sending postcards. There was just a study that I read about how sending postcards work. They have helped in other elections, like in North Carolina. They've helped in Atlanta and Georgia. They helped us elect 2 U.S. senators, and we need to keep the Senate blue as well. So keep all that in mind. I'm asking for your vote as well. Punch 121. Early voting has already started. And if you know people have not voted or don't have a voting plan, I'm asking everybody, what's your voting plan?
Committeemen in the 2nd Congressional District. Many wonder what is the state Central Committeeman. As you heard Mr. Winston speaking of committeemen from Bloom Township, state Central Committeeman is 2nd Congressional, where you're focusing on things that's related to statewide issues. The most important thing about this position is finding quality candidates to run up and down the ballot statewide. And coming from the Southland, I know that we have issues that need to be fought for, and we need candidates to fight for us when no one else is listening. We have issues ranging from multiple facets that individuals don't take to heart when you're looking at it from the state basis. Secondly, I want to recruit these candidates that have democratic values to their core, that's not doing the things or running for a personal reason, but running for the people. For far too long in the Southland and the state of Illinois, individuals have motives beyond the people. And so what I want to do is find those true Democrats that want to run and serve the people. And last but not least, to strengthen the Democratic Party. When this election is over June 28th, we can't be bickering and fighting over who won and who lost, but we got to be fighting on what's best for the people of the Southland and the state of Illinois. So for me, this is not a position that I'm running for any political power or any responsiveness for personal gain, but it's truly for the core to make sure that I know that the Southland is represented across the board. I've been a trustee for the last 7 years in Matheson. My track record speaks for itself. Whether a trustee, a businessman, or community advocate, my sole purpose is to serve the people at all costs. And running as a state central committeeman, my job is to bring Bloom together, to bring Rich and all the other townships so that we are a united voice. As we stay separated, that's how we don't get our judges in. That's how we don't get our state representatives in, our senators, and the list goes on and on. This seat is going to have implications as it gets into who's going to be the next president of the United States. Who the state of Illinois going to back? Are we going to find someone that just came out of nowhere? Or are we going to find someone that's been true to the Democratic principle from day one? Right. So I'm running for you, running for the people. Vote Adam Short on June 28th.
Yeah!
Of the 5th District.
Yes.
And the unique thing about the 5th District is that it's comprised of primarily the Southland and the far South side. So why am I here? I'm going to tell you a quick story about intergenerational opportunities and experiences that are life enhancing. And the vast majority of us in this room identify as women, and I am proud to be a woman supporting this man. a young woman at that. Because not too many black women are campaign managers in the state of Illinois. Black operatives are few far in between, but we exist. And many of us that have experiences aren't at the brain table of the situation room, all right? And I think it's very important to note that, because not too often do you see grooming at its finest. Oftentimes we're begging to be groomed. And then if you don't groom us, we're going to run and chase after you, or chase you out and see. One or the other. So I appreciate this opportunity to run with the mayor. I think the world of him. I've made that very clear in my stance in my backyard, on whom he represents, the 34th Ward, the 9th Ward. Home is all Gale for him, but it's also Hazelcrest, so the best of both worlds. And to be honest, when we think about what are the issues have been clear for all of us. Unfortunately, we all been impacted in some way with the trauma of gun violence. And in fact, demanding common sense gun legislation. And from the county board, he's one of the first to champion and demand it. Ain't he there yet, but he's commanding that energy because it can be done. And with $1 billion coming to the county board, my God, this is the first of the first to have that magnitude. And when we're talking about representation, both black, brown, and other, where's your fair share? And then when we talk about the Southland, he also speaks about the property taxes, right? And you all carry the state of Illinois, so God bless you. And that needs to change, because eventually that weight will break. So I look at him as a champion for both the Southland and the far South side. I ask for your support humbly to support Bernard Alsbury for Cook County Commissioner, punch 124. Thank you.
Yeah!
Jim Leffy, and I'm running for Circuit Court Judge in the 15th Judicial Sub-Circuit of Cook County. I want to talk a little bit about what I believe to be the most important quality of a judge on our bench, and that is the perspective that they bring. My perspective is based on my personal life experience, my work experience, and my involvement in democratic politics over the past 15 years. So just as a little bit about me, I was born and raised on the southwest side of Chicago to a single mother in the Union family. She was a crossing guard for the city of Chicago, and she was represented by SEIU. And I became the first person in my family to graduate from college, and then went on to law school at DePaul University College. And first, I'm a career public servant. I used to work for Secretary of State Jesse White. He has endorsed me in my candidacy for this race. I worked in his securities department, where we fought on behalf of families that were victims of fraud. Sometimes people would put individuals in investments that were not appropriate for their situation, and we are in many instances able to get money back from these families. So that's why Secretary White has endorsed me in this race, because he knows how hard I am working on behalf of the taxpayers in the state of Illinois. I've also been endorsed by the Chicago Federation of Labor. When Bruce Rauner was trying to limit the collective bargaining rights of Illinois workers, I was out hand in hand with organized labor fighting for those rights of workers. And that's why the Chicago Federation of Labor and several labor unions have endorsed me in my past. Now, one of the biggest issues that we're talking about nowadays with Roe v. Wade and women's reproductive health, I've been endorsed by the group Personal PAC. Personal PAC stands up as strong as anyone else for women's reproductive health rights. I fought for women running for office in this state for the past 15 years, in Cook County, in the suburbs as well, the collar counties, to make sure Democratic women get elected throughout this state. And that's why Personal PAC has endorsed me. I have supported women that are pro-choice my entire career. I'm pro-choice 100%, no exceptions. So that's why the group Personal PAC is endorsing me. Now, I know we're here talking about getting out the vote and being, turning it the state, keeping the state blue. And I have worked on Democratic candidates in cause for the past 15 years, and I hope to continue that through this entire cycle to just make sure that the Republicans don't get a stronghold here in this state. So my punch number is 192, and I tell everyone 192 for True Blue. My name is Jim Leffy, I'm running for 15 South Suburbs.
here in Bloom Township. I will be on the ballot for Commissioner for the 5th District as well as Committeeman for Bloom Township. And so when we think about service, that's what it's about. It's not about the bickering, it's not about the, the negative aspect of it. It's about helping people, and that's why I'm a public servant, because I truly want to help people and improve the quality of life for people. So the county votes on an $8 billion budget. About half of that budget, almost half of it, goes to healthcare. So the biggest priorities are healthcare and public safety. Also on my platform includes economic opportunity for all. Now let's talk about the committeeman race. This is an opportunity for, and much like Trustee Adam Shorter just said, it's an opportunity for collaboration. The Bloom Township Committeeman must help to build the party, to elect more Democrats. So I have been fortunate enough to build a lot of relationships across this state. And I've done that with hard work and doing the right thing and treating people the right way. So I want to utilize those relationships, some strategies, a great organization to build the party and bring more Democrats to the table and get more of us elected. And although we are a blue state, we want to keep it blazing blue, and that's what I want to do as Bloom Township Democratic Committee. So I ask for your support for Commissioner of the 5th District as well as Bloom Township Committee. Thank you.
The Southland is often forgotten. I am born and raised on the south side of Chicago in the Roseland community, and now I live in the village of Matteson, where I'm currently serving as the village clerk, as well as the president of the Rich Township Democratic Organization. I am a small business owner in Rich Township, and also a certified association executive, where I've spent my entire career serving the people. I've worked at the Alzheimer's Association with researchers trying to find a world without Alzheimer's. I currently serve as the Senior Director of Governance and Operations for the American Academy of Hospice and Palliative Medicine. As you can imagine, we saw a lot of hospice and palliative care patients during the pandemic. I know representation is very important because in 2019, my own son contracted an environmental waterborne illness called blastomycosis that nearly took his life. So that really prompted me to run. I am a mom on a mission looking to make sure to eradicate environmental injustices that we're seeing throughout Cook County. I am also endorsed by the Cook County Democratic Party, the Chicago Federation of Labor, the Southland Caucus. I am very excited about this race so that we can have a voice from the Southland to take a look at some of the issues that we're facing that are very diverse and unique from the rest of the county. So I'm here today to humbly ask all of you for your support on June 28th, or vote early, now through June 27th. My punch number is 82, and my name is Unika Brown, and I would love to have your support. Have a good evening.